welcome everybody. At this point on a Tuesday afternoon, we would normally be getting ready for Pulse, our after-school club. But unfortunately, we can't meet at the moment. But we can bring you story time and still be in contact with you, which is great. Thank you for tuning in for this first Pulse story time. And we're going to try and do this every Tuesday, so you can watch it on a Tuesday afternoon or some point later in the week. And that's for our after-school club children, but for any other children that want to listen to this too. And then on a Thursday each week, we are going to record another story time for our children that would normally meet here on a Sunday morning in groups. And we plan to try and have stories and memory verses and perhaps a craft idea, different things for you to perhaps listen to and take part in at home with your families. Now I'm going to begin today by introducing Easter. We are going to be thinking about Easter in a few weeks' time, and I've brought a chocolate egg here with me. But I am going to make this chocolate egg disappear. Don't know if you think that I can do that, but I've brought my bag with me. Let's just check this bag out to make sure there are no holes in the bottom for it to fall out of. There we go. It's all in one piece, and I'm going to drop my egg in there. And did you see it go? There, it's gone. Okay, where has it gone? Up my sleeves, do you think? In my pockets? Nothing there. The only thing that's there is a clean handkerchief. Behind my ears. Maybe Corrie has it. Maybe it's in the bag. Lots of you have seen the same thing happen here, but you will all have a different idea about what you think has really happened to the egg. Now we're going to think about that a bit more in our Bible story today. People can see the same thing happen and yet have a different idea about what really happened. Now, Corrie and I are Christians, and Christians are people who believe that Jesus is God's Son. We believe that he lived on earth and that Jesus did some amazing things. Things that were signs showing us who he really is. At Pulse, we've told you about some of those things, like when Jesus calmed the storm just by speaking. When Jesus fed thousands of people by almost nothing, with almost nothing. And how he made a sick boy well again by not even meeting him. But Christians believe that the most important and the most amazing thing that Jesus did was when he died and rose again from the dead. And we celebrate that every year at Easter. We believe that the first Easter was the most important thing that happened in history, ever. More important than the Great Fire of London. More important than England winning the World Cup. And even more important than Christmas. Because we believe that it's through Jesus dying and rising again that people can become friends with God. But like with the magic bag, there were lots of people who saw Jesus dying on the cross, saw what happened, but not all of them thought that it was important. And today we're going to hear the true story from the Bible, and we'll find out what some of those people thought. Firstly, we'll meet the busy soldiers. These were the people who put Jesus on the cross. Here's what they thought of Jesus dying.
Well, that's a good day's work. Just Jesus' robe left. Who wants it? Know what? Let's roll for it. Highest number gets it. I win!
For these soldiers, all they remember of the first Easter is Jesus' robe. They just wanted to do their job. They see nothing special about Jesus. They'd seen it all before. He's just another man dying on the cross. He's just an ordinary man, no different to you or me. Second, we'll meet the religious leaders.
He saved others with all of his miracles. Can't save himself. Come on then, Jesus. Come down from that cross. Then we'll know that you really are special. Then we'll worship you. Then you can be our king. No? Well, then you're just a loser.
These religious leaders are sure that they are already friends with God. They don't need Jesus. They're fine just the way they are. In fact, Jesus is the one who's got it wrong. Jesus is the one who's mistaken. Third, we'll meet the bloke who was just walking past.
Hey, I think this Jesus bloke is calling to God. I reckon if we hang around long enough, we might see a miracle. He did miracles, didn't he? Wouldn't that be cool? What do you reckon?
This man just came for the show. He wanted to see God perform an amazing miracle and rescue Jesus. He had heard that Jesus did stuff that no one else could do. But he didn't care who Jesus was. He just wanted to see something amazing. Jesus might be kind of cool and special, but he doesn't really matter. But is the man right? Lastly, there's one other person to hear from. One more person who saw Jesus that first Easter. A Roman centurion, a soldier who was watching as Jesus died. He was a tough soldier and a high-ranking officer. He had fought in many battles and seen other people die. But listen to what he said when he heard Jesus taking his last breath.
Wow. Surely this man was the Son of God.
This centurion had never met Jesus before, but when he saw Jesus die, he realised that Jesus really is the Son of God. He didn't know Jesus, but he realised that his death was really important. So that's 4 different people who saw the same thing, but had different ideas about what was happening. There was the busy soldier. He thought Jesus was just an ordinary man. There was the religious leader. He thought he was already friends with God. Jesus was the one who had got it wrong. There was the bloke just passing by. He thought Jesus might be cool, but he wasn't important. He wasn't worth bothering about. And then there was the Roman centurion. When he saw Jesus die, he thought Jesus was the Son of God, and that when he died, it was the most important thing ever. Do you remember the magic bag? We can all see the same thing and yet make different choices. So where did the egg go to? It's here in the bag. And that first Easter, different people saw Jesus dying on the cross and had different ideas about what had happened. But what really happened? Well, Christians believe that the Roman centurion was the one who got it right. We believe that the first Easter was the most important thing that happened ever. That Jesus died, and that he did that because he took the punishment that we deserve for all the wrong things that we do and think and say, so that we can be friends with God. And that's why we celebrate Easter. And that's really good news. I'm going to finish with a prayer now, and when we pray, it's talking to God. So you might want to close your eyes and listen to the words that I say. And if you agree, you could join in with Amen at the end. Dear Father God, thank you for Easter, for eggs and for fun. Thank you most of all for the message of Easter, that Jesus was willing to give up his life on a cross for all the wrong that we do, so that if we choose to follow him, we can be forgiven and be friends with God. Amen. Well, thanks for tuning in, and we look forward to you joining us again next week. But have a good week. Bye.